Hi everybody, it's me, Mike Celestino from Laughing Place. I'm going to talk to you today about two Star Wars books that came out today. I'm going to give you my thoughts, my opinions on those two books. The first one is called Star Wars Shadowfall by Alexander Freed, and I do not have a physical copy of that book because they sent me a digital file to review, which I don't ordinarily read books in that way, but I was able to read it in the digital file, and I didn't mind it all that much. I do prefer having the physical copy and the paper to flip through and stuff, but regardless, I still really enjoyed this book. It's a sequel to the book called Star Wars Alphabet Squadron, which I do have a physical copy of, also by Alexander Freed. Both these books take place after Return of the Jedi and follow this kind of ragtag band of rebel pilots called Alphabet Squadron, and they're called that because they fly. One flies an X-Wing, one flies a B-Wing, one flies an A-Wing, one flies a Y-Wing, and then there's also a U-Wing. So you got the whole alphabet of ships represented there, and they're chasing after this elite Imperial squadron called Shadow Wing that fly TIE fighters, of course, and they're led by this villain called Soren Kaizi, who is a very interesting villain and very different from the other Imperial officers that we've encountered in Star Wars novels. He's not Grand Admiral Thrawn. He's not like a military expert. This guy's actually just kind of in it for himself, and he's out to survive, basically, and that's all he wants for himself and for Shadow Wings is to survive. He's not trying to further the Imperial cause. He's let go of the Empire because the Empire has basically been defeated at this point, even though these books take place before the Battle of Jakku, which is officially like the end of the Empire. So this is between Return of the Jedi and the Battle of Jakku as depicted in the Aftermath novel series. But Alexander Freed is an excellent writer. He's kind of a newer writer to the Star Wars series. He started out writing Star Wars video games, actually, and then he went on to do a Star Wars Battlefront novel and the adaptation, the novelization of Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. I haven't read those. I would like to go back and read those, but I really enjoyed both Alphabet Squadron books, especially the new one. I thought it was even better than the first entry in the series. I really like all the hero characters. I like the separate adventures they go on, because he kind of takes a page out of The Empire Strikes Back, which is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year, of course, and he has all the heroes kind of split up and on separate adventures. One accidentally kind of joins a cult. A couple of them end up on this moon and encounter an ancient artifact. I won't spoil too much more about that. And then some are stranded on this planet with Shadow Wing and have to fight them in a big battle, of course, at the end. And then there's kind of a cliffhanger ending that left me really wanting to go and read the next installment, the next chapter in the Alphabet Squadron series, which I'm sure won't be out until next summer. But yeah, definitely recommend picking up, I'll put the image here, the Star Wars Shadowfall, an Alphabet Squadron novel by Alexander Freed. Really well written. The action is really great. It really puts you into the feel of a battle sequence, a space battle from the original Star Wars trilogy. It has that feel, it has that pacing, that momentum, and that excitement to the action. So definitely recommend that one. The second book I want to talk to you about today is called Star Wars Book of Lists, and that's pretty self-explanatory. It's a good description. The title's a good description because it's really a book of lists. Here's Chewbacca's best temper tantrums. I'll give you another example. I'll just flip to a random one here. The most updated and specialized vehicles. And it's all sorts of stuff like that. If you're like me and you've lived, ate, slept, and breathed Star Wars for your entire life, pretty much, there's not a tremendous amount of new information in here for somebody like you or me. But I will say this is a great book for what I would recommend the age range of like 8 years old to 14 years old. If you're a kid kind of growing up, wanting to learn more about Star Wars, and you're in that rough age range, this is highly recommended. Keep it on your bedside table. Read one list every night before bed. And I think you'll absorb more about Star Wars. You'll come to learn all the little details and intricacies like an older fan like me eventually does. Especially if you're coming into the series new, obviously. You've got a lot to catch up on. You know, there's 40 plus years of Star Wars history, and a lot of it is represented in this book. Let's flip to one more random list. Powerful movers and shakers. There's also, one of the ones I really liked was all the characters played by Warwick Davis, who their names begin with W, right? Stuff like that. So just all sorts of weird Star Wars trivia, both behind the scenes and from the canon itself. And the author of this one is named Cole Horton. There's a About the Author section there. And Cole Horton is the author of Star Wars, Absolutely Everything You Need to Know, and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, A Traveler's Guide to Batuu, which is coming out soon. We'll do a review of that one as well. That's coming out next month. Oh, there's another funny one here is the Beards, Mustaches, and More, the Finest Facial Hair from Star Wars. So there's some fun ones, there's some jokey ones, and some serious ones. And like I said, it's just kind of a good compendium of a bunch of almost kind of random trivia from Star Wars. But if you read this and absorb it, you're guaranteed to know more if you don't already know a lot about Star Wars. It's a good guide for younger fans. So again, pick up Star Wars Shadowfall, which is the sequel to this book, Star Wars Alphabet Squadron. Highly, highly recommend that. Adult level reading novel. But also I would say, you know, teen fans of Star Wars would probably also really enjoy that. And then Star Wars Book of Lists, if you fit in that age range, or if you want to get a gift for a fan, say roughly age 7 or 8 through the mid-teens, I would definitely recommend that as well. So, my name is Mike Celestino. I do also want to announce here on this video that I will be having the author of Star Wars Alphabet Squadron and Star Wars Shadowfall, Alexander Freed. He'll be a guest on my Star Wars podcast called Who's the Boss, a Star Wars podcast from laughingplace.com this week, so check that out. I think it'll be going up probably Thursday morning. So enjoy that, and otherwise, we'll see you real soon. Thanks for watching.